All right, guys, so I'm just going to do this little tutorial on how we going to factor trinomials when a is greater than 1. And so the very first thing when I see a trinomial is that I look at it, can I take out the greatest common factor? And if I look at number 1, I have a 3, I have a 2, and I have a 5. Those are all prime numbers, so there is nothing I can factor out. They don't have an extra variable in here, so nothing, I can't factor that out either. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slip the 3 to the 5, and that means I'm going to multiply it, right? So this is going to be p squared now minus 2p minus 15. Okay, and so just like on Monday, we learned how to factor it. This second minus sign means it's going to be different sign. So it's going to be p minus, p plus. I put the minus sign because that's going to be the biggest factor here. And I got to think to myself, what factors of 15 will subtract to make 2? And well, hopefully you think 5 and 3, right? And so it's going to be negative 5 and plus 3 because that will get me negative 2. Okay, so now this is where we have to do something a little bit different. So I took the 3 and slipped it over here, and so now I want to divide the last number in both binomials by 3. Okay, and so this one right here, he'll round out. The 3's cancel out and becomes p plus 1. Well, the very first one, 3 doesn't go into 5 evenly. And so I'm going to put him back in front of p. So I'm going to have 3p minus 5. And now I can double check myself. So 3p times p is 3p squared. 3p times 1 is plus 3p. Negative 5p is negative 5p. Negative 5 times 1 is negative 5. When I combine like terms, I get 3p squared minus 2p minus 5, which was my original problem. So this is my answer. Okay. All right, let's do it with number 2. First thing I'm looking, can I take out a greatest common factor? Nope. Because 2 doesn't go into 3, doesn't go into 9, no other variable to take out either. All right, and so again, I'm going to slip 2 to the 9, and so now I got 9n squared plus 3n minus 18. Okay, and I'm going to factor it just like normal. Again, that minus in the that second minus tells me that I'm going to have an n plus, I'm going to have an n minus. And now I did n plus first because my biggest factor is going to be a positive. And so I got to think of factors of 18 that will subtract to become 3. And so hopefully you think 6 and 3. So 6 and 3. And I slipped the 2, so I'm going to divide everything by, sorry, not everything, the last number in the binomial by 2. Well, n 6 or 2 goes into 6 evenly, so it's n plus 3. Doesn't go into 3 evenly, so now I'm going to make him go in front of n, so it's 2n minus 3. Okay? All right. Then, of course, you can always check to make sure. I'm not going to do that because I'm that good. All right. Now, number 3. Let's take a look at it. So, again, I'm going to slip the 3. The very first, the a, the one that's in front of the variable squared, into 4. And so now I'm going to have n squared minus 8n plus 12. And because it's a plus in the second, that means I have all like terms. And because the first sign is negative, or it's a minus, it's going to be n minus. All right? And so now I got to think of factors of 12 that will get 8. And so, will add up to 8. So I can think, oh no, it's not 4 and 3. So it has to be 6 and 2. So 6 and 2. Doesn't matter which one there. All right, and again, we're going to divide by 3. Because that's what we slipped. It goes into 6 evenly, so it's n minus 2. It doesn't go into 2 evenly, so it's going to go in front of n now. So I got 3n minus 2. So very similar to what we had in number 2 there. Okay. Let's see. Let's do number 4. So what I'm looking for is one where you have to reduce the fraction. And so let me see if this one will work. So we're going to slip the 5, and so now we're going to have n squared plus 19n plus 60. Okay? And I may have to get my calculator. If you remember in your calculator, if you hit y equals and the number that you want to factor in, and just put in y1, which is 60 here. So put in y1, 60 divided by x. Now that's the x that's under the mode button, okay? And then go second graph. You'll see a table that will give you a list of x and y's. And if they're both integers in the x and y, they're factors, okay? So if I go do that, so 60 divided by x, go to that. And I'm looking because this is going to be n plus, right? Because the second term is plus, the very first one is plus, so they're both plus. So they need to equal 19 when I add them together. And so, of course, this is going to be 4 and 15. All right, so I'm going to divide this by 5 here, and 5 doesn't go into 4 evenly, so it's going to be 5n plus 4. And for the last one, and 5 does go into 15 evenly, so it's going to be n plus 3. Okay? All right. All right, guys, let's take a look at one last one. This one's going to have the greatest common factor. And the way I know this, I just got to look at all the coefficients here and plus our constant number. And so I can see that 4 will go into 16, 60, and 100 even. So I can take that out first, and I'm left with 4b squared plus 15b minus 25. Okay? And I'm just going to keep that 4 on the outside of all of my parentheses. And I'm just going to work everything like normal. And so I'm going to slip 4 to 25. And now I'm going to rewrite it to b squared plus 15b minus 100. Okay? And what I'll need to do now is look at the second sign. It's a minus, so we're going to have different signs in the parentheses. So it's going to be b plus, b minus. And that 4 is still going to stay outside. Okay? He doesn't get to play with anybody. All right? And I need to find something, need to find a factor for 100 that when I subtract the two factors, they get me 15. And so again, I can always use my handy dandy calculator, put it in y equals, Or hopefully you're good enough to go, well, 20 times 5 is 100, and I subtract those, I'll get 15. Okay, we're not done yet. The number that we slipped here wasn't 16, but 4, right? And so I'm going to have to divide everything by 4. And so I'm going to be left with 4b plus 5. And 4 doesn't go into 5 here evenly, so it's going to go to the outside. So it's going to be 4b minus 5. Okay? And if I check that, if I distribute the two binomials first, and then multiply everything by 4, I will get 18. Alright guys, hopefully this helps out, and I'll see you later.